Haribo.
Nitai Gora Haribo. 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 Nitai Gora Haribo.
Nitai Gora Haribo. 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 Gora Haribo.
Nitai Gora Haribo. Haribo.
Haribo. Nitai Gora Haribo. Jai Shri Gurudev Ki Jai. Okay, so we're going to continue with Ch.Ch and chant Harita. Jai Shri Gurudev. So yesterday we finished with this verse describing the effect that Lord Krishna's flute has when it travels throughout the universe. And we can hear that one more time. Rundan ambubritascha matkriti padam korvan muhustumburum Dhyanad antarayan sanandana mukhan vishmapayan vedasam otsukya valibir balim chatulayam bogindram agornayan bindan andakataha bitimabito babrahma vamshidwani. The transcendental vibration of Krishna's flute blocked the movements of the rain clouds, struck the Gandharvas full of wonder, and agitated the meditation of great saintly persons like Sanak and Sanandam. It created wonder in Lord Brahma, wrought intense curiosity that agitated the mind of Bali Maharaj, who was otherwise firmly fixed, made Maharaj Ananta, the carrier of the planets, whirl around, and penetrated the strong coverings of the universe. Thus the sound of the flute in the hands of Krishna created a wonderful situation. Ayam Nayana Dandita Pravara Pundarika Prabha Prabhati Nava Jagura Duti Vidambi Pitambara Aranyaja Padishkriya Damita Divya Veshadaro Hadinmani Manohara Jutibir Ujvalango Hari. The beauty of Krishna's eyes surpasses the beauty of white lotus flowers. His yellow garments surpass the brilliance of fresh decorations of kumkum. His ornaments of selected forest flowers subdue the hankering for the best of garments, and his bodily beauty possesses mind-attracting splendor, greater than the jewels known as Marakatamani, emeralds. Jangadas tata sangidakina padam kinchid vibhugnachikam sachi stambita kandadam saki tira sanchadi nechanchalam vamshim kutmalite dadanam adade lolanguli sangatam ringadbru brahmanam varangi paramanandam pura svi kuru. O most beautiful friend, please accept the Supreme Personality of Godhead who is standing before you, full of transcendental bliss. And this is spoken by Lalita Devi to Radharani. The borders of his eyes roam from side to side, and his eyebrows move slowly like bumblebees on his lotus-like face. Standing with his right foot placed below the knee of his left leg, the middle of his body curved in 3 places, and his neck gracefully tilted to the side. He takes his flute to his pursed lips and moves his finger upon it here and there. Kuluvada tanudharma grava vindani vindan sumhuki nishita dirga panga tanka chatibi. Yugapad ayam apurvaka puro vishvakarma Marakatamani lakshir goshta kaksham chinoti. And this is spoken by Radharani to Lalita. O beautiful faced one, who is this creative person standing before us? With the sharp chisels of his loving glances, he is splitting the hard stones of many women's devotion to their husbands. And with the luster of his body, surpassing the brilliance of countless emeralds, he is simultaneously constructing private meeting places for his pastimes. Mahendramani Mandali Madhavidambi Deha Dutir Rajendra Kula Chandrama Sparati Kopi Navyo Yuva Saki Stira Kulangana Nikada Nivi Bandargala Chiddha Kadana Kotuki Jayati Yasya Vamshi Dvani. And this is spoken by Lalita to Radharani. My dear friends, this newly youthful Lord Sri Krishna, the moon in the family of Nanda Maharaj, is so beautiful that he defies the beauty of clusters of valuable jewels. All glories to the vibration of his flute, for it is cunningly breaking the patience of chaste ladies by loosening their belts and tight dresses. In this verse we heard Srila Gurudev chanting. And this phrase in particular he liked, this Rajendra Kula Chandrama, where Krishna is compared to the moon of the Braja dynasty. So Krishna is the moon rising from the dynasty of the Vrindavan, the Brajavasis. And then, I don't know if we'll come to that here, but there's Srila Kaviraj Goswami has written a verse which elaborates upon this analogy, and which Gurudev liked so much, and he liked it even more than Rupa Goswami's expression, where Nanda Maharaj is compared to an ocean of milk, and Krishna, the moon, arising above that ocean. Maybe it's somewhere else. Yeah. But very beautiful imagery. Balad Akshnor Lakshmi Kavalayati Navyam Kuvalayam Muko Lasa Fulam Kamalavanam Ulangayoti Ch.Ch Dasham Kashtam Ashtapadam Apinayatyangi Karuchir Vichitram Radaya Kimapi Kila Rupam Vilasati. The beauty of Srimati Radharani's eyes forcibly devours the beauty of newly grown blue lotus flowers, and the beauty of her face surpasses that of an entire forest of fully blossomed lotuses. Her bodily luster seems to place even gold into a painful situation. Thus the wonderful, unprecedented beauty of Srimati Radharani is awakening in Vrindavan. And this is spoken by Purnamasi. And this next verse spoken by Krishna to Madhumanga. Vidur eti diva virupatam chata patram bhata sharvadi muke iti kena sadar shriyojvalam tulanam arhati mat priyananam. Although the effulgence of the moon is brilliant initially at night, in the daytime it fades away. Similarly, although the lotus is beautiful during the daytime, at night it closes. But, O my friend, the face of my most dear Srimati Radharani is always bright and beautiful both day and night. Therefore, to what can her face be compared? Pramada rasa taranga smeda gandha stalaya smada danor anubandi bru lata lasya baja Madakala chala bringi branti bangim dadano hridayam idam adangshit pakshmalaksha kataksha. And this is also spoken by Krishna. When Srimati Radharani smiles, waves of joy flow over her cheeks, and her arched eyebrows dance like the bow of Cupid. Her glance is so enchanting that it is like a dancing bumblebee, moving unsteadily due to intoxication. That bee has bitten the whorl of my heart. Raiko he tomar kavitva amrite radhar, ditya natake kaha nandi vyavahar. Having heard these verses recited by Rupa Goswami, Srila Ramananda Rai said, "Your poetic expressions are like continuous showers of nectar. Kindly let me hear the introductory portion of the second drama." Rupa ko he kaha tumi soyopama basa, muikon kudra jeno kadyota prakasha. Srila Rupa Goswami said, "In your presence, which is just like brilliant sunshine, I am as insignificant as the light of a glowworm." Tomarage darshte mukha vyadan etabali nandishlo korila vyakyan. It is even impudent for me to open my mouth before you. Then, having said this, he recited the introductory verse of the Lalita Madhav. So, due to his natural Vaishnavata, he's feeling extremely shy. In general, of course, to present himself, but particularly in front of someone like Ramananda Rai. And of course, Mahaprabhu is there and other great Vaishnavas. But because he's being ordered and requested, then he's doing so. And so we've just heard verses from the Vidagdha Madhava describing Vrindavan Leela, and now Ramananda is asking him to recite verses from the Lalita Madhava describing Dwaraka, Mathura and Dwaraka Leela. So we'll hear something from there. And this now next is the very first verse of the Lalita Madhava. Sora ripu sujisham uroja kokan mukha kamalani cha kelayan akanda chiram makila suhicha koranandi dishatu mukunda yasha shashi mudam va. Mukunda yasha shashi. The glories, the fame of the moon of Mukunda. The beautiful moon-like glories of Mukunda give distress to the lotus-like faces of the wives of the demons and to their raised breasts, which are like gleaming chakravaka birds. Those glories, however, are pleasing to all his devotees, who are like chakora birds. May those glories forever give pleasure to you all. So the chakora birds, they live on moonlight. More commonly we hear of the chatak birds, which subsist on the fresh rainwater. But the chakora birds are also described in the Vedic literature, and they live only on moonlight. And so sometimes we hear this analogy, Krishna is like the moon, and the Brajabasis or the Gopis, they're like these chakora birds. They only live on the light of that moon. They only live on their connection with Krishna, their remembrance of Krishna, the mercy that Krishna gives them. We hear we just sang this song, Vibhavadi Shesha, the last verse also uses this analogy. Jamuna Jivana, that he is the life of the Jamuna. Keli Parayana, he is full of divine play. Jamuna Jivana Keli Parayana Manasa Chandra Chakura, that he is like the moon to the chakuras, birds. Is it? Jamuna Jivana Keli Parayana Manasa Chandra Chakura. The moon for the mind of the chakura bird, something like that. But the same analogy is used. Dvityanandi kahadeki rai puchila sankocha payadupa podite lagila. When Srila Ramananda Rai further inquired about the second introductory verse, Srila Rupa Goswami was somewhat hesitant, but nevertheless he began to recite. Nija pranaitam sudam udayam apnuvanya kshito karatyalam urikrita dvija kula jirajastiti salin lunchita tamastatir mamashachi sutakya shashashi vashi krita jagan mana kimapi sharma vinyasyatu. The moon-like Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is known as the son of Mother Ch.Ch., has now appeared on earth to spread devotional love of himself. He is the emperor of the Brahmin community. He can drive away all the darkness of ignorance and control the mind of everyone in the world. May that rising moon bestow upon us all good fortune. So he's of course reciting this with Mahaprabhu present, so that Mahaprabhu is uncomfortable. Shunya Prabhu jadi antade ulas bahire kohen kichu kodido shabash. Although Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was inwardly greatly pleased when he heard this verse, externally he spoke as if angry. Katomar Krishna Rasa Kavya Sudha Sindhu Tarmaje Mitya Kene Stuti Kshara Bindu. Your exalted poetic descriptions of the mellows of Lord Krishna's pastimes are like an ocean of nectar. But why have you put in a false prayer about me? It is like a drop of detestable alkali. Raiko Heruper Kavya Amrita Rapur Tarmaje Kabindu Diache Karpur. Srila Ramananda Rai objected, it is not alkali at all. It is a particle of camphor he has put into the nectar of his exalted poetic expression. Prabhu kohe rai toma ihate ulas shunite lajaloke kore upahas. Mahaprabhu said, my dear Ramananda Rai, you are jubilant at hearing these poetic expressions, but I am ashamed to hear them, for people in general will joke about the subject of this verse. Rai kohe loke sukh ihar shavane abhishta deve smiti mangala charane. Ramananda Rai said, instead of joking, people in general will feel great pleasure in hearing such poetry, for the initial remembrance of the worshipable deity invokes good fortune. So here is this phrase, Ishta Devata, or here Ishta Deva. But Abhishta, this Abhi is like an intensifier. But, meaning, as we mentioned before, one's most worshipable deity. So this is customary, as we said at the beginning of some composition, to have a prayer to one's Ishta Devata. And this is to invoke, as it said here, Mangala Charan, auspiciousness. Rai kohe konange patre pravesh, tobe rupa gosai kohe tahar vishesh. Ramananda Rai inquired, by which subdivision of style do the players enter? Rupa Goswami then began to speak specifically about this subject. So, some technical stuff here. And now we have a verse from Lalita Madhava. Natata kirata rajam nihatya ranga stale kala nidina samaye tena videyam gunavati tarakada grahanam. While dancing on the stage after having killed the ruler of uncivilized men, Kamsa, Lord Krishna, master of all arts, will at the proper time accept the hand of Srimati Radharani, who is qualified with all transcendental attributes. Udgatya kaname amukha viti anga tomarage kohiha dashya taranga. This introduction is technically called Udgatyaka, and the whole scene is called Viti. You are so expert in dramatic expression that each of my statements before you is like a wave from an ocean of impudence. And we have here a purport which explains these technical dramatic terms, but I'm going to leave that for now. Those can, at home, they can look at the purport if they wish. And now we have a quotation from some textbook, Sahitya Darpan. Padani tvagatartani tadarta gataye nara yojayanti pader anyai sa udgatyaka uchyate. To explain an unclear word, men generally join it with other words. Such an attempt is called udgatyaka. Raiko he kaha ge ange vishesh, Shrirupa kohen kichu sankepa udesh. When Ramananda Rai requested Srila Rupa Goswami to speak further about various portions of the play, Srila Rupa Goswami briefly quoted his Lalita Madhava. And now this is a beautiful verse spoken by Purnamasi in a conversation with Gargi. And this is Act 1, verse 23 of the Lalita Madhava. Harim udishate rajo bada purata sangamayat yamum tamaha raja vama jisham na padati prakata sarva jisha shuter api. The dust from cows and calves on the road creates a kind of darkness, indicating that Krishna is returning home from the pasture. Also, the darkness of evening provokes the gopis to meet Krishna. Thus, the pastimes of Krishna and the gopis are covered by a kind of transcendental darkness and are therefore impossible for ordinary scholars of the Vedas to see. I'm going to read that one more time. The dust from cows and calves on the road creates a kind of darkness, indicating that Krishna is returning home from the pasture. Also, the darkness of evening provokes the gopis to meet Krishna. Thus, the pastimes of Krishna and the gopis are covered by a kind of transcendental darkness and are therefore impossible for ordinary scholars of the Vedas to see. And now we have this is the following verse in Lalita Madhava. This is response, Gargi to Purnamasi. Oh, so Gargi, I was wondering, who is this Gargi? She sounds like Garga Muni, and it says here she's the daughter of Garga Muni. I've never heard anything about Gargi. Priyam avagriya grihebya karshati radam vanaya ya nipuna sajayati vishishtarta vada vamshaja kakali duti. May the sweet sound of Lord Krishna's flute, his authorized messenger, be glorified, for it expertly releases Srimati Radharani from her shyness and attracts her from her home to the forest. And now we have another verse. This is from the second act of Lalita Madhava, spoken by Radharani to Lalita. Saha chadi nidatanka koyam yuva mujira dutir raja bhuvi kuta prapto madhyan matan gaja vibrama Ahaha chatuler utsar padbir jig anchala tashkarer mama jiti danam cheta koshad viluntaya ha ya. My dear friend, who is this fearless young man? He is as bright as a lightning cloud, and he wanders in his pastimes like a maddened elephant. From where has he come? To Vrindavan. Alas, by his restless movements and attractive glances, he is plundering from the vault of my heart the treasure of my patience. And now another verse. This is spoken by Krishna about Radharani. Vihara sura dirghika mama mana kadindrasya ya vilochana chakorayo shararamanda chandra prabha udo ambara tatasya chabaran charu taravali mayonata manorater iyam alambisa radhika. Srimati Radharani is the Ganges in which the elephant of my mind enjoys pastimes. She is the shining of the full autumn moon for the chakora birds of my eyes. She is a dazzling ornament, the bright and beautiful arrangement of stars on the border of the sky of my chest. Now today I have gained Srimati Radharani because of the highly elevated state of my mind. Eta shunirai kohe prabhur charane ruper kavitva prashamsi sahasra vadane. After hearing this, Srila Ramananda Rai submitted at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu the super excellence of Srila Rupa Goswami's poetic expression and began to praise it as if he had thousands of mouths. Kavitva na hoy amritera dar nataglakan siddhante rasar. Then Ramananda Rai, he goes so far as to say, this is not poetry. This is a continuous shower of nectar. This is not poetry. This is beyond poetry. This is not just language. This is not some ornamental language. This is pure, transcendental streams of nectar pouring over our heads. Wonderful. Srila Ramananda Rai said, this is not a poetic presentation. It is a continuous shower of nectar. Indeed, it is the essence of all ultimate realizations, appearing in the form of plays. You see, actually, this is how we see the scripture, the Veda, that it is not just a book, it is not just words on a page, or not even just concept or ideas, but it is actually conscious spiritual substance which is taking the form of a book, of words, of language, is choosing to appear in the form of language, but it is much more than that. And so, this is why we will generally, first we will pray when we are approaching these holy texts. We are not just coming, for some exercise of the brain, but it is a spiritual transmission which we are hoping to have. And so we are first praying, invoking the grace of this text, which is not just a text, but it is passive, but it is conscious spiritual substance. So Srila Ramananda Rai is very wonderfully articulating this. This is not a poetic presentation, it is a continuous shower of nectar. Indeed, it is the essence of all ultimate realizations, appearing in the form of plays. And so also we hear that occasion when Srila Sridhar Maharaj's godbrother was trying to break his faith in Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and he was pointing out different things, and one thing he told him was, this text that Prabhupada said was it was some ancient Samhita, something like that. It wasn't actually, we wrote that for our Gaudiya Math propaganda, and Srila Sridhar said, so, even better, what is the scripture anyway? First it appears in the hearts of the sages, and then it may or may not take the form of some particular text. What we're interested in is revelation in the heart of the saint. That is the original thing, not some, dusty book.
Prema paripatye adbhut varnan shuni chitta karner hoy ananda gurnan.
The wonderful descriptions of Rupa Goswami are superb arrangements to express loving affairs. Hearing them will plunge the heart and ears of everyone into a whirlpool of transcendental bliss. The wonderful descriptions of Rupa Goswami are superb arrangements to express loving affairs. Hearing them will plunge the heart and ears of everyone into a whirlpool of transcendental bliss. And now this next verse, it's a quotation from somewhere, I don't know, but it's a very wonderful expression we hear quoted sometimes. Kim kavyena kavestasya kim kandena danushmata parasya hridaye lagnam na gurnayati yakchira. What is the use of a bowman's arrow or a poet's poetry if they penetrate the heart but do not cause the head to spin? So a little cryptic here, what it's saying, but the idea is that, it's not enough to just hit your mark or just to be adequate, but you need to blow people's minds. That's what it's saying. Poetry should have you sinking on the floor, crying, and you're bleeding, and it should bring about some, if it's good poetry, it should bring about some intense emotion, your whole existence is there, you're on the edge, your head is spinning, or any bowman can hit his mark with his arrow, but let's spice it up a little bit, we hear all these feats performed by Arjuna, or Bhishma, right? He strikes a well with his arrows, and all kinds of things, or sewing up people's mouths with their arrows, all kinds of fancy things. It's bringing things to another level. So, in the same way, what's the good of poetry if it's just, okay, you've said what you need to say, you've hit your mark, but you're not squeezing my heart and spinning my head. So he's saying, Rupa Goswami, he's done that. He's presented this kind of poetry.
Toma Shakti vina jive nahi vani, tumi Shakti diya kahao heno anumani.
Without your mercy, so Ramananda is speaking to Mahaprabhu, this is by your mercy, you've given, and this is a high compliment, it's not trying to lessen what Rupa's done, saying it's by your mercy, but he's it's to his credit that, you've been so pleased with him that you've given him this kind of grace that he can present this type of literature. He has attracted your mercy to such a high degree. And this is the highest achievement of the jiva, to attract mercy in such, an intense way that we may be able to, serve in a wonderful way. Without your mercy, such poetic expressions would be impossible for an ordinary living being to write. My guess is that you have given him the power. Prabhu ko he prayage har hoilo milan,
Ihar gune hate amar tushta hoiloman.
Mahaprabhu replied, I met Srila Rupa Goswami at Prayag. He attracted and satisfied me because of his qualities. So this is very significant, because this is the second time now that Mahaprabhu is like unequivocally stating, yes, I've given my mercy to Rupa. You know, and first Swarup Damodar, he pointed this out, you know, my Lord, clearly you've given your special mercy to him, otherwise this wouldn't be possible. Now Ramananda, and these are the two right hands of Mahaprabhu, Swarup Damodar and Ramananda, they're both pointing this out. He must have received your special mercy. And Mahaprabhu both times is saying, when normally he won't. Normally if Mahaprabhu is referred to as being in some type of position, he's avoiding that, he's evading that. But both occasions, in regards to Rupa Goswami, Mahaprabhu is very clearly and strongly saying, yes, you're right. I did give my mercy to him. I have given him my special mercy to him. So clearly Mahaprabhu is establishing the position of Rupa Goswami.
Madhura Prasanna Ihar Kavya Salankar Aiche Kavitva Vinona He Raser Pachar.
Mahaprabhu praised the metaphors and other literary ornaments of Srila Rupa Goswami's transcendental poetry. Without such poetic attributes, he said, there is no possibility of preaching transcendental mellows, or raser prachar, you know, spreading rasa, no, prachar means preaching, but that word preaching, you know, sometimes it, Gurudev didn't always encourage that word, but we can say spreading rasa.
Sabe kripa kori hare deho evar rajalila premaras jena varne nirantar.
Mahaprabhu requested all his personal associates to bless Rupa Goswami so that he might continuously describe the pastimes of Vrindavan, which are full of emotional love of Godhead. So again, Mahaprabhu is consolidating his position by asking the others to also give their grace to Rupa. I've given my grace, but I know his position will be more strong if all of you will also support him and back him and give him your grace. So we mentioned, I think a few days ago, you know, how Srila Sridhar Maharaj, he pointed this out about Srila Gurudev in Gurudev's Pranam Mantra, that, you know, he's fully satisfied my desires, but he also has the blessings of my God brothers. So therefore, you know, his position is even greater because of that. Then you understand, he's really qualified.
Ihar je jeshta brakta nam sanatan pitivite vigyava nahitar sam.
Mahaprabhu said, Srila Rupa Goswami's elder brother, whose name is Sanatan, is such a wise and learned scholar that no one is equal to him.
Tomar jaiche vishaityag taiche taditi donya vairagya panditye tahate stiti.
Mahaprabhu told Ramananda, Sanatan Goswami's renunciation of material connections is just like yours. Humility, renunciation, and excellent learning exist in him simultaneously. I think I'd like to stop there. Even though we're close to the end of the chapter, I would like to stop here, because I'd like to meditate on some of these things here tomorrow. Okay. Jai Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai. Krishna's Kavi Raj Goswami Ki Jai. Any comments, questions?
Srila Goswami Maharaj explains that.
Sorry, say that again.
Srila Goswami Maharaj explains, the verse about the dust cloud. And I wasn't going to say anything until you said that it's not some dusty old thing. He explains the first thing that the devotees see is Krishna's yellow dhoti. And that represents his potency. So the only way that you can see them is through Gurudev.
Yes.
Otherwise it always will be a dusty old scripture.
Yes. I think you're mixing that up. There's another verse. I was also thinking of that verse. I can't remember the first line. But there's this expression, Tadid Ambaraya, where Krishna's this like analogy is given. Krishna has dark body, but you can see him through because of his bright, like lightning colored dhoti, and so in the same. So this brightness, is compared to Radharani, as you're saying, that Krishna is dark, we cannot see him, but through the light of his potency, through approaching him, through his potency, then we can know him, and we can have some experience. And that verse, Srila Sridhar Maharaj discusses very extensively in Loving Search for the Lost Servant. I can't remember the first line right now, but it's one of Lord Brahma's prayers. After Lord Brahma has been, he's realized his foolishness, and then he has all of these prayers, and so one of them, prayers of like apology and glorification to Krishna. And so this is one of them saying like, how could I possibly know you? You are so difficult to know. And actually one can only know you through your divine potency like that. It's a very beautiful verse. But this one line, Tadidambaraya's lightning colored clothing, is the reference to Radharani. And Srila Sridhar Maharaj was very beautiful explanation. I can't remember.
Hari Haraya Namah Krishna Jadavaya Namah Hari Haraya Namah Krishna Jadavaya Namah Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namah Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudana 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 Girin Hari Gopinata Madana Mohana Girin Hari Gopinata Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Chandra Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Chandra Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jai Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunatha Jai Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunatha Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunatha Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunatha He Jai Gosai Kodi Charana Vandana Jai Gosai Kodi Charana Jaha hoite Vignana Shavishta Purana Jaha hoite Vignana Shavishta Purana He Chai Gosai Jai Mui Tadadasa Jai Gosai Jai Mui Tadadasa Tansa Bada Padadenu Mura Panchagrasa Tansa Bhakta Sanibhasa Radhara Charana Sebi Bhakta Sanibhasa Janame Janame More Abhilasha Chai Gosai Jabe Braja Kulabasa Radha Krishna Nitya Leela Kodila Prakasha Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavana Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Majaya Mana Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Kodi Asha Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Kodi Asha Hari Naam Sankirtan Kohe Narottama Dasan Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Jai Jai Vishnu Pad Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Vishnu Pad Bhakti Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Bhagavan Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Ki Jai Shri Rupa Nuga Guru Varga Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Saprashad Shima Mahaprabhu Ki Jai Shri Navadip Dham Ki Jai Shri Ganga Jamuna Ki Jai Shri Bhakti Devi Vrinda Devi Tulasi Devi Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopi Shamakun Radhakun Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Shri Ch.Ch Saraswat Mat Ki Jai Vishnu Vyapi Thari Vishakha Mat Ki Jai Shri Ch.Ch Saraswat Mat London Chapter Ki Jai Jai Shri Bhakti Nirmala Charja Maharaj Ki Jai
Acharya Vrinda ki Jai, Seva Vrinda ki Jai, Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai, Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Pinda.
Shri Vishakha ki Jai.